Like,
you need the Pope. Get the Pope in here. Call the Vatican. Call somebody.
woo.
You know what time it is? School
Sam
time.
O'Nella time.
Sam O'Nella Academy
Jesus.
back in the house. I'm excited about this because we have a video called Scandalous Popes of the Middle Ages. Who is the most scandalous pope that you know of?
I only know, like...
The fucking Pope. You know? Who? The fucking Pope?
No,
Who's the
there's
Pope?
two
I don't
because
even
they've
know.
changed out.
I think that they've changed out more than
No,
two.
I know, but, like, in my lifetime that I know.
I think it's been like 3, maybe 4.
You're not that old.
Yeah. I'm talking about us, since we, not just me.
No, I know, but if you remember 4 popes and I only remember 2 popes, right?
Why are we arguing about popes right now? Anyway, Sam O'Nella's Scandalous Popes of the Middle Ages. Oh my God, I can only imagine. Like in the last one, he made shit up. So, like, are we even gonna know if it's true or not?
Well, I got a DM telling me that it was not.
I edited that video so much because I was like over here like researching.
I wish you would have left it in.
Yeah.
Oh God, no! I really gotta. Whew. Okay.
Anyway, yeah, we're at the Sam O'Nella Academy. Edibles have been taken, and it's time to get our educations.
Dude, is this our new shtick?
Sure.
We've learned stuff, and
learn
I'll
things.
actually maybe like retain it like this.
I don't know.
If
I
it's
don't know
history,
about
I might actually care about
this
it.
is our shtick. It's always been my shtick, Nikki. This has always been my shtick.
I'm stealing your personality.
Sure.
How bad is my eyeliner here?
I think it looks
Gone.
fine.
I think it's gone.
Hey kids, time to alienate 23.9% of the United States from my potential audience, because today we're talking popes. Now don't get me wrong, the modern papacy is a great thing, just a genuinely virtuous man being elected to govern and set an example for Christians everywhere, that's awesome. But back in the day, not so. See, in the Middle Ages, the church was one of the greatest powers in the Western world, having massive influence over monarchs and laymen alike. And as we know, with great power comes great tomfoolery. Here's some of the less wholesome popes that history has to offer. Pope
no.
Stephen VI assumed the pontificate in May of 896, during a time of great instability for the papacy, where rulers and families of all different shapes and sizes were vying for influence over the Catholic Church. As such, successive popes from this period often had different ideas about how things should be run. Stephen, for example, didn't much care for Pope Formosus, the guy before last. Why? It's complicated. Even if I could wrap my head around all this, it'd probably be boring as hell. So just take it on good faith that Steve had a lot of beef with Formosus. So much beef, or as we call it, papal bull, that Stephen couldn't even be happy that the dude was already dead. So he had the 8-month-old corpse of Formosus dug up, dressed up in pope clothes, sat down on a throne, and literally put on trial, with a deacon appointed to give all his responses for him. So you thought you could get away from the law with that little dying stunt of yours. Well, tell me, Mr. Thrombosis, did you violate canon law, commit perjury, and pretend to be
Maybe
a bishop
soap
when you
operas aren't
weren't?
so bad.
Yes, pasta fazool, I am a fool. I've heard all I need to hear. This
What
court
the
finds
hell?
you guilty, and everything you did as pope, we legally declare to be fake and dumb and stupid and dumb. Now throw him in the river. What? The river? Can he do that? See the hat? That means I'm Pope. P-O-O-P Pope. You better 3-point that bitch into the briny deep right quick, or I'm gonna raise hell. Metaphorically. So they threw him in the river. This whole thing caused an uproar among Formosus supporters, and after Formosus's corpse was allegedly seen performing miracles at the riverbank, Stephen ended up being overthrown, imprisoned, and executed by strangulation. The body, now slimy and disgusting, was fished out of the Tiber and reinterred in St. Peter's Basilica, where it rests to this day. Next, we'll talk about John the 12th. This guy already looks like one of my characters. Why don't we just, yeah, there we go.
Sure,
This guy ascended to the throne when he was just 18 years old, which is insane. If I was elected world's biggest hat wearer at that age, you better believe things would get real unpapal real quick. I'm talking gambling, hooker, setting fires, and toasting to the devil. And wouldn't you know it, these are all things John the 12th did. It's said that he took the sacred palace and literally made it into a whorehouse. Matter of fact, while researching the guy, I stumbled across this list of sexually active popes. This is a real Wikipedia article. Take a hike, toilet paper orientation. Daddy's got a new favorite. John is featured prominently on this list, of course. He had a thing for widows for some reason. Personally, I'm not big on weepy old hags. I'm more of a carefree young hag type of guy, but to each their own. He also banged his niece a bunch, which not the most virtuous act, but you know, Middle Ages and bloodline, fucking whatever. His playboy lifestyle eventually caught up to him though, leading to the Synod of Rome, where everyone got together to talk about what a piece of shit he is so they could kick him off the throne. Besides all the deviancy, there was a lot of things they had problems with. For one, someone once offered John some money to ordain a 10-year-old as a bishop, and he was just like, alright, I would have done it for free, honestly. Look how big those robes are on him, that's hilarious. He also had a deacon ordained in a horse stable, just like, oh, for fuck's sake, alright, let's get this over with. Shouldn't we be doing this in like a church? Listen, bucko, if it's good enough for Jesus to be born in, it's good enough for you to have your little cardinal party.
He's got a point.
Not cardinal, he's just a deacon. Now if you keep running your mouth, you aren't. He also liked going on hunting trips now and then, generally considered to be something popes don't do. Although my suspicion is that they were just tired of cleaning his big stupid camo hat every time. Probably his worst act though was putting on a helmet, followed closely in second by the time one of his subdeacons got on his nerves, so he literally cut off his dick and murdered him. So between all this and some conflicts with Otto I of the Holy Roman Empire, John was uncanonically ousted in 963. Except as soon as Otto left Rome, nobody was there to pressure him off physically anymore. So John was like, lol, just kidding, rounded up all his groupies, kicked the new pope off the throne, and continued his role like nothing happened by early 964. But just a few months later, fate caught up with John, and he died the way he lived. Committing adultery. Now let's be real. We all have our little guilty pleasures in life. Some people like a nice bag of Cheetos. Others like scented candles or poorly drawn educational videos. Alexander VI liked watching horses fuck.
Are you serious?
According to Vatican chronicler Johann
Are you
Burckhardt,
serious?
he would specifically arrange for his stallions to be introduced to mares in heat outside his palace, and he'd stand up on his balcony to watch them violently mate, which just tickled him pink for some fucking reason, and he'd laugh uproariously during the entire spectacle. He also once threw a party in the palace called the Banquet of Chestnuts, also referred to as the Joust of Whores. Wait a minute. Horse jousting. Horses banging. Was dyslexia a thing back then? Nah, but during the banquet, Alexander had 50 of Rome's finest raggedy harlots line up and strip down for him and his guests, which, by the way, included 2 of his children, which, by the way, he had many children, but at this point hardly a concern. Guests began throwing chestnuts at the ladies, who got down on their hands and knees and scrambled frantically, like the cook at Denny's when I held him at gunpoint, trying to collect as many as they could. After this went on for a while, Alexander was like, alright kiddos, game time. Whoever can bang the most broads before the night's over wins Rome's finest silks, and the only condition is that anybody who makes a joke about nutting on someone's chest gets disqualified. It's too easy. This is all according to that one Johann guy, mind you. Some secondary sources differ pretty significantly on the more lurid details of all this, so do take it with a grain of salt. But at the same time, this guy was the official record taker for the ceremonies he was involved with, so it seems equally likely to me that the other guys just wanted to save a bit of face, but who knows. In the end, primary sources are usually the most reputable source of information. After all, what better way to learn about stuff than from people who have direct experience in the subject? Till next time, I'm Salmonella, and thank you for watching.
No.
The guy liked to watch horses bang and also whore jousting, which was just them chasing chestnuts around. Like, wait a minute, time out. First of all, these guys are not even supposed to be banging nothing to begin with.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think that they're. I don't think that they're
celibate.
Yeah, I think that they're supposed to be celibate, like monks.
Like nuns.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do popes speak?
I thought that this was the excuse of why they had this big major problem with diddling the little boys.
I think it's just diddling the little boys is bad, you know.
Yeah, I know, but I thought that they were using it as an excuse as to why they were repressed is because they weren't supposed to be able to shack up with nobody at all.
Well, then that's the worst option.
Look,
so, it doesn't make any sense.
None of that makes sense. None of that makes sense. I know. I agree. None of that makes sense. Anytime that there's some religious fucking thing that's like, you have this, and your body is telling you to do this.
And you shouldn't.
God made you that way for what? For what? If my sole purpose in this life is to be celibate, then why do I have this?
I think that's like a test.
Get the fuck out of here with this test. Does that not sound like some shit that a human made up? It's like, what? It's just a test. Well, why? Well, why not? You know, it's like, do you think that this grand being that created everything in existence cares about the test of whether or not you're going to touch your pecker? Like,
are you saying you just think that it's a dumb rule for them to be celibate, or you think it's a bad thing that he...
It would be absolutely a human being thought to be like, the grandest being of all time is concerned with what I do with my penis.
So you think it's a dumb rule?
Yes, I think it's an absolutely dumb rule because these are
clarified.
It's supposed to be in the name of God, but that doesn't make any sense for that to be in the name of God. That would be like, and the Lord said, do not let shit fall out of your butthole. It's like, my belly starts hurting. It's like, that's just a test. You don't really need to shit. That's him. You're trying to pleasure yourself by releasing your shit from your asshole. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense at all. Forgive me, Father. Sweating like a motherfucker, dying, like shitting everywhere. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
And then everybody finds out. They're like so disappointed.
No. They'd be like, we smelled something earlier today. We know what you were doing in there.
Just like, you were sweat profusely looking at each other. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. A lot of these rules don't make sense. It's like, don't let your eyes wander upon your neighbor's wife. It's like, shit, she's outside, like, in her bikini again. No, I can't look over there. It's like,
oh, shit.
There's so many weird ass fucking rules that they try to just like make guilt.
That's what I was gonna say.
Guilty. Everyone is so guilty.
To make you feel bad. To like,
you're so wrong.
Keep going. Which is so
you would
crazy.
think in that kind of environment, these people are banging hookers and stuff. Like,
they're going for it.
I mean, if you look,
they're having a great
if
time.
You're trying to take advantage of the system, or you're trying to scheme. That's about as
he did whatever.
That nothing was low key. That's terrible. That's a terrible idea. If he was doing that shit behind closed doors, nobody would have said shit. But he's like, let's throw a big ass party.
And he's just fine. He's like, he did what he wanted to. Who's gonna stop me?
These posts be tripping.
Yeah.
This was a crazy video. I had fun. I always enjoy Salmonella's videos. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. And we will see you in the next one.
See you guys.
Bye.